All right, time for commodities market update now. Joining me is Bolanle Agbaje, Senior Analyst, Financial Derivatives Company, joining me right here in the studio.
Hi, morning.
Good morning. Great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so the blue line is online now, and definitely quite a historic moment for Lagos State and Nigeria. How are you seeing all of this?
It's a very, very welcomed development. Right. I know it's taken so long, but at least for now we've kicked it off, and at this time where fuel prices, ridiculous, it's a good initiative to alleviate, poverty. And when comparing the prices, I think 750 naira is a fair price for the time reduction in time spent on the road. The traffic issue as well would obviously be easing out because most people have an alternative. I'm sure most people would mention the fact that Nigeria should have gotten this far a while ago.
Definitely.
But we're still happy that at least we have this alternative, and we expect that the second phase comes as soon as possible.
And get people out of their cars.
Get people out of their cars, off the road. Basically increasing efficiency, productivity across the whole economy. So I'm very excited and ecstatic that this has been commissioned. I just hope that it's maintained properly. It's an initiative that would last for a very long time. You see in other countries when their rail transportation network is something that exists for such a very long time, and it's updated, is maintained regularly. So I do hope that as long as it's new now, everybody loves it, but at some point, if it's not maintained properly, you see people, not exactly. And obviously, safety is a very big issue when it comes to rail transportation network, and it's something that has to be.
No one is allowed to cross those tracks.
I'm sure they've been saying it, but Nigerians would, because how many people are probably listening to the news and hearing about this? When you're looking at people in the rural areas, they don't have that. I don't think that knowledge is getting across to them.
There are people around
them to caution. Yes, exactly. So
put signs with
it's still all part of maintenance and making sure that nothing happens to the rail network, nothing happens to the lines, and this, we can enjoy the benefits of this for a very long time.
Fantastic. I can't wait to ride on it
Same.
At this point. But let's look at inflation now. We're expecting numbers for August. We did get a new high in July. So what are we seeing for August?
We expect that inflation numbers should increase to about 25.47%.
25.
Yes, it was 24 in July, but and that's just because nothing has changed. In fact, it's gotten worse in terms of prices. Diesel prices already at about 8.90. And we're seeing oil prices. I don't know if you've noticed, every time you just pass those filling stations, every single day, it seems like it's increasing by 5 naira. So that obviously has played into the market as well, played into the inflation numbers too. And we're not surprised about that because it's directly correlated with crude oil prices, because at the end of the day, we're net importers of refined petroleum.
That's why when I'm tracking the oil market and I see oil prices rise,
you can't even be
tug in my chest,
exactly.
I know the pump will feel it for sure.
Exactly, and we're not really benefiting from the hike in or the increases in oil prices at the moment. With our production is increasing slightly, sometimes it goes back down, but we've still not found our balance in terms of getting our production levels to the nice 1.8 to 2 million barrels per day. So that obviously is conflicting. The refineries are still not, the capacity they're producing is definitely not enough to meet the domestic supply of Nigerians at the moment. So that's aspect is why we're
facing battle against oil theft at
exactly.
This time.
So those yes, but I guess the government is still trying to make sure that the oil theft issue is being addressed as soon as possible. I hear that they're still installing cameras in several places, looking for ways that they can make sure this oil theft issue becomes or is put behind Nigerians, and we can move ahead and produce the right quantities. Add that to whatever sources of revenue that we're looking for.
That definitely needs to end, oil theft, at this point. And we had the last meeting That was in July, but we're expecting another meeting this month. That's talking about the MPC meeting. Obviously, inflation is still going to be on the front burner, currency devaluation and all of that.
Well, because inflation is still rising, it depends on what their focus is. And obviously, from the previous meetings, we've seen that the main focus is addressing, inflation numbers. So there might likely be, another increase in interest rates or maintaining status quo, but definitely not a cut in interest rates at this time.
No
cuts anytime soon. On the economics front of things, it doesn't make sense to cut at the moment, just because you can't fight, those issues that you're trying to address when you cut inflation and cut interest rates at the moment. So with the meetings, is either they're sticking to the hawkish side of things, or actually they will be sticking to the hawkish side of things, but it just depends on whether they're increasing or they're maintaining status quo. But it's been nice to see and watch what happens.
Yeah, we'll definitely look out for that meeting later on in September. But let's look at the oil market now. We're seeing, looks like every major producer is tightening at this point, deliberately trying to raise prices.
Yes, because it's in their best interest. They depend on, the revenues from this income. And when you're looking at the demand side of things, it hasn't been at the beginning of this year in January, there was so much talks about, China's recovery from opening up from COVID and all of that, expectations of, increasing demand. And now we're in September, and this hasn't been increased as much as we expected. I think the Chinese economy, they're trying to be cautious and manage, expectations, and also try to boost their economy gradually as opposed to, getting back to those levels immediately, because I'm sure that would also have, direct negative impacts on their economy, because it might not, stay as long as they expect. So I guess they're trying to be cautious. They have so many policies that they've introduced in place to make sure that some of their manufacturing economies that had been stagnant throughout the past 2 years would, are able to revive nicely and, be sustainable in the near future.
I'm hoping the major producers at this point have some kind of price ceiling, so the prices don't, go up
well,
too
at
high.
This point, a price ceiling is not.
They should look at a price ceiling, because countries like Nigeria now, we're feeling.
We are just feeling the brunt for our actions.
Even though we want to.
I don't think they're putting what Nigeria is facing in their, meetings at the moment, just because Nigeria is only feeling.
Too.
Yeah, Nigeria is feeling what we almost saying that we're enduring what we used our hands to make for ourselves, and it's not any country's business what happens. But with other countries, it's Russia, Saudi Arabia. They're looking for ways to boost their income, and oil prices still haven't even gotten to those levels that we used to have them at. So it's currently at
over $100 would be a lot.
Well, it would be nice to get to $100 per barrel for sure, because we will still benefit from that additional income for sure. But at least when we get to that point, I'm sure Saudi would, look for ways to now calm down and ease out on, making initiatives that would actually increase or reduce supply.
All right, let's look at grains market now. All eyes on that meeting between Erdogan and Putin yesterday. That did not go as planned, and Russia is still out of the Black Sea grain deal at this point.
Yes, I already even mentioned Russia is out of it. I don't think they're getting back into it anytime soon. Russia is at the moment where they're trying. A lot of countries have already, removed them from whatever discussions that they're having at the moment. So Russia now is pro-Russia. They're looking for ways to boost their income. The grain deal is not, going to do anything fantastic for them in terms of the fact that, they're committed to this particular deal, and yet other countries are also blacklisting them at the same time. So they're looking for ways to maintain that power. And I know that they have so many deals, side deals that they've cut with India and China. So those are, kind of deals I think they are trying to, make to benefit their economy and boost their revenue, because I think that had been really impacted because of the war.
And we see wheat prices already reacting to that this morning.
Yes.
Did rise, and definitely at the same time we're seeing cheap Russian wheat still, keeping prices down.
Yeah.
But somehow the geopolitics traders are finding ways to prop up the price?
So just because everyone is unsure about what the future of wheat supply would be, some of these producers or buyers of wheat are trying to solidify their profits in terms of that. So at this point, when they feel like, it seems like you're not getting enough supply of wheat, it benefits them to increase prices of wheat. But right now, the prices that wheat would be trading at, I think they're currently at about between $700, $800 dollars per bushel. That's huge comparing to, pre-COVID, where we had it at about $300 per bushel. So wheat prices now, any producer of wheat would definitely try to take advantage of it and, try to be on the receiving end when it comes to profits.
All right, we've seen the Nigerian government set up a Solid Minerals Corporation to attract investment.
Yes.
What are you seeing with that?
It's a good initiative. We've spoken so many times about the fact that Nigeria is buoyant in a lot of natural resources.
Because we see how Russia's, taking advantage of
course, because that's all they have.
Right.
So I guess if it comes to a point where Nigeria can only or solely depend on, other resources apart from oil, I'm sure we'll take it seriously. But I guess it's another initiative too. I think one that we're really, doing well with is limestone. And I guess, that's gold as well. We do have gold, and I don't think we've, tapped into the minerals for gold. And that's because of obviously lack of technology, information, all of that. So this initiative would definitely be beneficial in terms of...
we also have to put a stop to illegal mining at this point.
Yes, we definitely do. We definitely do. And this needs to be channeled into the funds that the government needs to pick up the economy.
All right, what's happening with domestic commodities?
Well, we're seeing mixed reviews. Some commodities like tomatoes, pepper, we're seeing prices reduce in those particular commodities. Then the grains like rice, gari, prices are still increasing. But we're going to be entering the harvest season very soon, and we do expect that, prices ease out a bit. But it doesn't last for long, because by the time you're getting into the Christmas period, you see that pickup in demand. But obviously, we're learning from what happened last year. And last year, the pickup wasn't as much as we had expected. And because things are still quite dull for major individuals within the economy, so we don't expect the demand to, pick up as much as...
Can't believe in 2023, we're already looking forward to Christmas at this point. The Amber months are here.
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Bolanle Agbaje, Senior Analyst, Financial Derivatives Companies. Great having your perspective.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.